Hello everybody and welcome to the Impossible DL channel. My name is Deanna and we are back with Sherlock Holmes versus Jack the Ripper. So in the last episode, I think we were just about to go into that like alleyway thing. Yeah, and in this episode we were gonna investigate that. I'm sure there's clues in there, you know? Okay, I'm just gonna get into it. Here we go. Okay, let's just head on in. Oh wait, the door's there, not there? Oh, that's weird. There it
Your
is.
interrogation of P.C. Smith has proven to be very shrewd and of great interest. Thanks to the information I've managed to gather and that you were able to read in my notes in Baker Street, Watson, we can recreate what happened that fateful night at this location, Dutfield's Yards to be precise, the site of Liz Stride's murder.
Reenactment of the facts. Dutfield's Yard murder. Okay. Midnight club meeting ends. Alright, so that clearly goes here.
Midnight, the Socialist Club meeting ends. The members, mainly Jewish men, gradually begin to leave the club in little groups or alone.
12:20 a.m. The American goes out for some air. No one is in the street, so 12:20.
12:20 a.m. The American leaves the Socialists Club for some fresh air. The street is deserted.
12:30 to 12:35. P.C. Smith sees Liz Stride speaking to the man with the packet. So let's just put it at
12:30 to 12:35 a.m. Smith notices Liz Stride talking to the man with the package.
Okay. 12:40 a.m. Mr. Eagle, the president of the Workers' Club, enters the club by the passage in Dutfield's Yard. So 12:40. Oh, let's put it down here a little bit.
12:40 a.m. Eagle, the president of the club, enters the Workers' Club via the passageway through Dutfield's Yard. He passed through Dutfield's Yard. If Liz Stride had already been killed, he would have had to walk over her. The murder, therefore, had not yet happened.
Yeah. 12:43. Israel Schwartz passed by Dutfield's Yard and witnesses the attack of Liz Stride. 12:43.
12:43 a.m. Israel Schwartz passes by Dutfield's Yard and witnesses the attack on Liz Stride.
Okay. 12:44. Israel Schwartz changes sidewalks. The attacker sees him and cries Lipsky. 12:40.
12:44 a.m. Schwartz crosses to the other side of the road. The attacker sees him and yells Lipsky. The attacker must have shouted to his accomplice at the end of the road, Lipsky, indicating at Schwartz using his head in an attempt to scare off this undesirable.
12:45 a.m. Israel Schwartz flees, followed for a few feet by this man. Okay, 12:45.
12:45 a.m. Schwartz runs away, followed for a short distance by this man.
1 a.m. Mr. Deemschutz wants to enter with his cart pulled by a pony.
1 a.m. Mr. Deemschutz wants to enter with his cart, but the pony refuses. We know that the murder took place between 12:45 and 1 a.m.
Yep.
Mr. Deemschutz, therefore, must have disturbed the killer. Let's place Liz Stride's murder on the timeline, Watson. 12:45 to 1 a.m., the murder of Liz Stride. It took place in this very spot, as the traces of blood were very confined. We will come back to this point in a few moments to elaborate on what could have happened. Well, we are still missing certain information in order to finish this investigation, Watson.
Okie dokie.
Watson, imagine the victim laid down there on the ground.
Face. Okay, I guess I have to use this.
Her right hand, it is bloody, as is her wrist.
Okay.
Her left hand, it is closed around a bag of pastils. The throat, there is but one clean cut, slightly slanted downwards.
Am I missing something?
Her knees and dress, they are clean. Her knees and dress.
Yeah. You said that. I feel like I'm missing something.
The throat, there is.
Can I zoom in on their face? No. Crap. I'm missing something, guys. What am I missing? Watson, help me.
What are we doing, Holmes?
That's very helpful, bro.
The ground is muddy.
Oh. Really? Okay. Timeline? No. Conclusions. Crap. Deductions. There we go. Okay. The knees and the bottom of the dress at the front are clean. The ground is dirty. The victim was careful. The victim didn't struggle on the ground. The victim struggled. No, she didn't struggle. The victim was killed lying down. The victim wiped her clothes. The victim was killed upright. Lying down. Elstrad had her back to the killer. Elstrad and her murderer were lying down at the moment of the mortal blow. And her murderer was standing at the that one? That doesn't seem right. I don't know. The wound on the neck is clean. Starting from the right and slightly... Oh, wait, no, they were standing. Okay, they were upright. Okay. Had her back to the killer. Yeah, I think that's right. The blow was given to the middle of the neck. The blow was given with the right hand. No, it was left-handed. Because if he's standing behind her with the knife, and it started from the right and then went down, it's gotta be the left hand. Whoa, okay. There's only one wound. It is proved to be mortal. The victim had her neck wrung. There is but one superficial wound on the neck. Let's do that one. The murderer struck the blow from below. From above. Struck the blow from his height. Yeah? Killer is taller than the victim. The killer is shorter than the victim. The killer is probably the same height. No? Okay, that's not... Okay. Shorter, then. Okay. Taller. Okay. Really? Then I don't... Okay, let's just move on. Wait. The murderer struck the blow from below. Okay, that's wrong. Well, hang on. Let's check the... Okay. Oh, come on. From above? Okay, so, which means that this is wrong. Ugh! Okay. What was given with the left hand? Left-handed. Okay, so obviously he wasn't behind, so which means that it was probably his right hand then. Right hand. Killer's right-handed. Okay, so if he was standing in front of her, the victim didn't struggle on the ground. Yeah, didn't struggle. Okay, the victim was killed upright? No. Lying down. Okay. Elstrad and her murderer were lying down at the moment of the mortal blow, and her murderer was standing. No. Lying down. Okay. The blow was struck from above. Above? Yeah. Crap, I don't know this one. Okay. The murderer is strong, weak, a lumberjack. Strong? Strong man. Sure. Bloody right hand and wrist. It wasn't slit. What? The victim was bleeding from the nose. The victim had her hand cut. The victim put her hand on her throat. Probably, yeah. The knife blade used in Elstrad's murder was thin. The murder weapon used against Elstrad was a mezzaluna. The knife blade used in Elstrad's murder was thick. No, I think it was thin. Yeah. Okay, so there's still something wrong here. Okay, above. Ugh. Same height. Okay, guys, Okay, so obviously he was above because he was laying on top of her, you know? Y'all, I don't get this one. The ground is dirty, but the knees and the bottom of the dress on the front are clean. Victim didn't struggle on the ground. She didn't, did she? No, she didn't struggle. I mean... Ugh. Y'all, I don't know this one. Okay, maybe she wasn't lying down, because there's this one. So hang on. Okay. Okay, so then let's try... Same height? Oh, I did
We
it!
have two possibilities. The first is that Liz Stride's killer and the attacker, seen by Schwartz, were one and the same man. The second is that Liz Stride meets a client. After some discussion, they head towards Dutfield's yard to do their business. As soon as they arrive, the attacker appears while his accomplice keeps watch. Schwartz's arrival dissuades the two men from lingering. They leave the area and leave Liz Stride in a tense state, but glad to have kept her client. He will be her murderer. Both hypotheses are possible, but an incongruous detail will serve to corroborate one of them. An incongruous detail that we were able to establish regarding the Hanbury Street murder. Which one would that be, Watson? Look at the victim carefully, Watson, and tell me the link between the murder of Liz Stride and those of Nichols and Chapman. No, that's not it. No, that's not it. No, that's not it.
The bag of pastels, Holmes?
The bag of pastels. Indeed, Watson. If this woman had to defend herself against an attacker, why would she have held onto this bag in her hand? It didn't fall because this woman's hand tensed at the moment when she fell to the ground. Therefore, Watson, we know the killer distracted his victim's attention by making them take something out of their pockets. Why didn't he slit her throat like the others? He must have feared a struggle with this strong-willed woman. Why didn't he eviscerate her? Because Louis Diemschutz arrived.
Do you think the Whitechapel killer is behind this murder, Holmes?
Yes, and now this murder has been linked to its rightful perpetrator, it will take on deeper meaning when we have examined the facts from that night. Let's go to Mitre Square, where Catherine Eddowes was killed. And make haste, Watson, as we have another murder to commit in 40 minutes.
What?
Here we are, Watson, Mitre Square. It took us a mere 20 minutes to get here. If the killer left Dutfield's yard around 1 o'clock, as we assume, he would have arrived here at around 1:20 a.m. We know that Catherine Edow's body was discovered at 1:44 a.m. Catherine was released from prison around 1 o'clock, but we have no information as to what she could have been doing until her death. This place has 3 possible ways out. Let's see where they lead. As a precaution, I brought an old map of the area with me. It will help us get our bearings.
Let's hurry, Holmes. This neighborhood makes me ill at ease.
Okay. So, is that where we're standing right now? Whatever. Okay, so there's 3 ways out. I guess let's just pick one and just go down it, I guess?
Church Passage. It must be opposite the Imperial Club at 16 to 17 Duke Street. Let's go to the end of this lane, Watson.
So dark.
Hello, you must be Abraham Solomonovich, am I right?
Yes, that's me. But I know you. You brought a lad to my place to take care of a cat, and I loaned you my mask.
That's me. May I present?
Dr. Watson, of course. Delighted. And you? I have known for a few days that you are a detective by the name of Sherlock Holmes. Is that so?
You don't miss a thing, do you? It was the children who gave me away, am I right?
They didn't want to, but I gained their confidence by offering them a small comb and half a cake.
They made a good deal out of it, so I don't blame them. However, I must request, as a personal favor, that you do not reveal my identity.
You have my word. Curiosity is just killing me, as you may have guessed. Would it be breaking an oath to confide in me the nature of the investigation that you are leading?
Church Passage?
Does this spot where we are now in Mitre Square mean anything to you?
A demon lives in this city, Mr. Holmes. These unmentionable acts degrade the human race and put the Jewish community in terrible danger.
Lots of rumors are circulating, but they are but rumors. I see you're leaving the Imperial Club. It's a stone's throw away from Mitre Square, and the 2 recent murders were most probably discussed in there. Do you know if anyone from the club saw or heard anything that night?
Yes, Mr. Holmes. That night, 3 members of our club saw a woman talking to a man at the very spot where we are standing, a few minutes before the body was found at the end of this passage.
Fantastic, Holmes.
Calm yourself, Watson. There is nothing at the moment to suggest it was the victim. Can we meet these members?
I am afraid that won't be possible. As soon as the police heard the evidence of these men, they were sworn to silence.
I understand.
But you are working for the good, and I must tell you what I know. One of the 3 men, my friend Joseph, left that night with 2 other members of the Imperial Club, Harry and another Joseph. It was around 1:35 a.m., perhaps a bit earlier. When Joseph, not my friend, but the other, the Aldgate butcher, exited, he saw a man and a woman in discussion at this very spot where we are.
These men must have been about 16 feet away from the couple.
That's about right. So Joseph, the butcher, said to the other 2, while pointing at the couple, "Look, I don't like going home alone when I see this kind of people here." My friend Joseph looked at them without noticing anything strange and didn't understand what he meant. They had the look of 2 rather unkempt people, but no more than that.
After the murder, did these 3 men tell the police what they had seen?
Not quite. Harry stated that he hadn't seen the couple. As for Joseph, the butcher, even though he was the one who commented on them and pointed them out, said that he couldn't remember anything except that the man was about 3 inches taller than the woman, who was 5 feet tall, no more. My friend Joseph, on the other hand, did his best to cooperate with the police.
And what did your friend Joseph say? What did this man and woman look like?
The man must have been 30 years old, about 5 foot 7 inches, light complexion, and a fair moustache. He wore a loose, dark jacket, a grey cap, and a red scarf around his neck. But he said that he only saw him for a brief instant, and it would be impossible to recognize him.
And the woman?
He only saw her from behind. She had her hand on the man's stomach and seemed to be pushing him. He said that he remembered that she was small, was wearing a black jacket and a black bonnet. After his testimony, the police took him to see the clothing of the deceased, and Joseph said that they looked identical to those of the woman he had seen. Like I already said, he only glanced at the two, as he was headed with the others in the direction of Aldgate.
One final question. The Imperial Club is a Jewish club, isn't that correct?
Indeed.
Thank you for your help, Mr. Solomonovich.
Bah, it was nothing. We must at all cost prevent this demon from striking again, and the police seem to have some difficulty in doing that. I wish you the best of luck, Mr. Holmes.
Okay. Oh.
This building is the Great Synagogue of London. Closed.
Okay. Am I supposed to go back? So she was found dead in here? Oh, can I pick this up, please? Yes! How do I use it?
Take the lantern, Watson.
Yes! Let there be freaking light. Is the murder in here? No. Watson, I can't see!
Watson, we are now
Found
in the
it.
exact spot where poor Eddowes tragically ended her days.
This spot is very dark, Holmes.
That is probably why our murderer chose it.
Okay. Oh.
Do these objects spread out by the victim remind us of anything, Watson?
The items belong to the victim. The murderer is a woman. These objects were before the murder? No. They belong to the victim. No, he didn't search. I don't know. I guess he did? Okay.
A thimble is located right beside one of the victim's hands, just like Chapman's sachet of pills and Stride's pastils. The inside of the thighs is clean. Once again, there were no sexual relations between the victim and her murderer. The main incision goes from the sternum all the way down to the groin. The
Jeez.
murderer opened this abdomen as if it were an animal carcass. A kidney was removed. The uterus was removed.
Oh.
The head is turned towards the left. The murderer must have been on the right side of his victim. Let's look at her from the front.
Oh my god.
There is but one wound, Watson. It goes from the left side and descends in a slight oblique towards the right side. The nose was cut. The cheeks were slashed to make them thinner.
Jesus Christ. Am I missing something?
There is but one wound, Watson. It goes from the eyelids were cut off.
Is that it?
These intestines were pulled out altogether to grant access to the abdomen. Part of this apron is missing. We will follow up on that shortly.
My goodness, Holmes, it was a slaughter.
Yeah.
Understand, Watson, that our killer had neither the time nor the conditions to bother with the niceties. He had no more than 7 or 8 minutes at most to kill the woman, open her up, and all the while in total darkness.
Holmes, it's a woman, a poor victim you're talking about.
Consider all the time this man lost and the risks that he actually took by cutting the victim's face and the lower abdomen in around 20 precise spots, especially the lungs and the liver. These attacks, which I considered gratuitous, are in fact nothing of the sort and have as much sense as the removal of the organs. We must, first and foremost, locate the 3 exits leading to Mitre Square, Watson.
Okay. So we already went down that one, so let's go down this one, I guess.
This is Mitre Street, from where Watkins, the constable who found the body, came. I have no reason to go that way.
Oh. Okay. Over here. Okay, so that's one way out. And so there's... Oh. This way? Yes.
This dark and narrow passage leads to St. James's Place. Watson, we must now consult our timeline. We began in Dutfield's yard, but this time we will try to recreate the actions of certain people. In this case, those of the 2 policemen.
At 1:30 a.m., PC Watkins enters in... Okay, so 1:30.
1:30 a.m. PC Watkins didn't see the corpse while on his rounds. If PC Watkins did his rounds properly, and there is no reason to doubt this was the case, as he discovered the corpse a quarter of an hour later, the murder hadn't yet taken place, and there was no one in Mitre Square, unless they were hidden among the shadows. Enter Mitre Square via Mitre Street, Watson, and stop and try to see me with the lantern. I will be where poor Edow's corpse was.
Okay. Oh, I need to take the lantern up, don't I?
I see you, Holmes.
Perfect, Watson. Let's look at our timeline, Watson.
Okay. Oh, okay, 1:42.
1:42 a.m. PC Harvey arrives in Mitre Square. It should be noted, Watson, that the constable didn't enter Mitre Square. He could not have seen the corpse lying on the ground. But would he have been able to see a man sitting or standing? Go to the church passage entrance, then come back and try to see me while holding your lantern. I will stay at the spot where the victim was discovered.
Am I supposed to just like walk up to him again?
I see you, Holmes.
You had to proceed into the square in order to see me, something Harvey didn't do. It is possible that the killer was still there. 1:42 a.m. PC Harvey arrives at Mitre Square, but does not go in. The murderer may well have still been there.
Oh, okay. 1:35. Okay. 1:35.
1:35 a.m. A man and a woman are arguing at the entrance of Church Passage. The man came from Aldgate. Very good, Watson. Thus we can categorically state that the murder had not yet occurred at 1:30.
Okay. 1:44, the body is discovered.
1:44 a.m. The body is discovered. Let's put the murder of poor Eddowes on the timeline, Watson.
Between 1:30. 5, okay.
1:35 and 1:42 a.m. The murder would appear to have taken place between these times, that is to say, within 7 minutes.
Wow.
Agreed, Holmes. But does this really prove that our killer had the time to perpetrate these two murders?
Let's
Right?
look at our timeline, Watson.
Okay. Sherlock and Watson took 20 minutes to go to... Okay, so... Like there?
There, Watson. We are now certain that the murderer really had the time to commit these two murders.
Incredible.
Let's look at our deduction board, Watson.
Deduction board, okay. Oh, jeez Louise. The bill is found right beside the victim's hand. Okay. Murderer lost a thimble, held a thimble in her hand. Yeah, she was holding it. Edo's liver and lungs underwent small incisions. Kidney and uterus were removed. Nose was cut. Cheeks were slashed to become thinner. Eyelids were removed. Hates kidneys. Knew anatomy. Yeah, he knew the anatomy, clearly. The wound to the neck goes from the right and slightly oblique and descending. It was behind the victim. No? Yeah. Yeah, behind. Because if he's right-handed. Okay. Is a bit shorter than the victim. No, because they described him as being taller. One is the same kind as Elstead. Superficial. Let's come back to that one. Ambidextrous is right-handed. Oh. The central incision goes from the sternum. Okay, so maybe he's ambidextrous. No? Left-handed? What? Okay, so if he wasn't behind, the blow was fierce and instantaneous. The murderer wanted to decapitate the victim. No, it was fierce. Right-handed? Let's just check. I just want to check, make sure. Okay. Alstrad is the same. Yeah, sure. Did the same way as Liz. And it caused extra murder. Okay. Murderer did not kill. No. Maybe the same. Okay. A piece of Edo's white apron was cut off. The items at the victim's feet are very orderly. The objects fell by chance. Killer likes order. The murder is unfeeling and organized. Yeah. It's this one. The murderer cut open the stomach in a surgical manner. The murderer opened Edo's abdominal like that of an animal. Cut open the stomach. Surgical? No. Okay, animal.
This spot is making me nauseous. Can we not head back, Holmes?
We certainly can't, Watson. We have one final point to address. Do you remember the piece of white apron that was missing just now? It was found just a few steps away from here, at the entrance of a building. That's where we must go.
What? At the entrance of a building? Where am I at? I think we're going here.
Let's go.
Yeah.
There's the spot, Watson. By night, Goulston Street is deathly silent, which will permit us to carry out a fair few experiments. Let's find the entrance where the piece of the victim's apron and the mysterious chalk message were found. Look at these signs, Watson. We are in the Jewish High Street. Look at these signs, Watson.
So it was found at... Oh, is that it? Okay.
There's the spot where the apron and the message were found by PC Long. Now, let's recreate the scene. Remember, Watson, it was raining that night. Find me something with which to mimic raindrops hitting this wall while I write something with my chalk.
The Jews are not the men that will be blamed for nothing. But what does it mean?
Okay, so we have to find something to recreate rain.
Have you found something for us to pour water from, Watson?
Find a container and some water. Let me remind you that it's nighttime and the street is deserted, Holmes.
Okay.
I have no reason to go that way. An old wooden pole. A merchant probably threw it out. A watering can. That's what I need. But I can't reach it. That may come in handy. Who knows?
Okay, items. What if we combine these two? Oh, I'm still missing something, aren't I?
A watering can.
Yep,
That's
okay.
what I need.
Stop it!
That may come in handy. Who knows?
Okay, I found a rope, I think. Freaking finally! Where'd the watering can go now? There it is. Finally, we got it! Yay! Okie dokie. Let's get that selected. Okay. Holmes, I did it.
The Jews are not the men.
Have you found something for us to pour water from, Watson?
Yes. What? Do I have to select it again?
Yes, I have, Holmes.
Okay.
If this message were written by the killer, then it would have been lying in this entrance for up to 35 minutes before being discovered. Let's find out in what state it must have been. This message could not have withstood an entire night in the rain.
Huh.
During the investigations carried out on the night of the double murder, PC Hulse inspected the entrances of this street around 2:20 a.m. and confirmed to have seen nothing out of the ordinary. At 2:55 a.m., 35 minutes later, PC Long found Catherine Edow's piece of apron and the message in chalk. This message would not have withstood a whole night in the rain, as had I continued to water it for a little longer, I would certainly have erased it. It was written, therefore, at the moment when the piece of apron was dumped. This substantiates PC Hulse's statement, which stated he had seen neither of these during his rounds. After its discovery, it was guarded and protected from the rain, which was subsiding, which explains why it was still legible when it was erased at 5:30.
Huh.
My dear Watson, when you met P.C. Smith on his rounds in the street, where was he? On the pavement or in the middle of the road?
In the middle of the road, Holmes, without a shadow of a doubt.
Good. You will go down the street with your lantern as if you were a policeman on patrol, using Smith's position as a guide. As soon as you see the entrance where I used the watering can, tell me if you see anything.
Okay. Oh, we already got the lantern open, so we just walk? I already forgot what side he's on. So, what now? Do I have to get closer, or...?
There, Holmes. From here, I can see something written.
Can you read it?
No.
Do you see the white rag, Watson?
I see something on the ground, but I'm not sure if it's what you were talking about.
PC Long, who found the piece of apron, was examining the interior of the entrances, and yet nobody would have predicted that this piece of material would be discovered on the very night of the murder by a policeman on patrol.
What are you trying to get at, Holmes?
Yeah, I don't
Let's
get it.
look at this message on the wall, Watson. The Jews are not the men that will be blamed for nothing. In other words, the Jews were possibly blamed for nothing, but that will no longer be the case. Reading this message naturally begs one question. What would that be, Watson?
Why?
Indeed, Watson, why? For what reason would one have the right to blame the Jews in the future? Remember, Liz Stride was killed near a club for socialist Jews, Eddowes not far from a synagogue and the Imperial Club, and finally, this piece of apron dropped here. This building is occupied by Jewish families. The killer really did go out of his way to incriminate the Jews living in the area.
It's a bit
Oh.
obvious, Holmes.
Yes, but with the rumors, Watson, the author of this message would have received a response to his strategy.
You are right, Holmes. So perhaps it's a good thing this message was erased.
Whoever took the decision to do this is a man of great wisdom and courage. Let's return to Baker Street, Watson. I have some pipes to smoke to help me think more clearly.
Let's go back to Baker Street. Home, sweet home.
All right, everybody. I think this is a good stopping point for this episode. So, we investigated 2 murders. I wasn't expecting that. I actually forgot about that second one. I thought we were just going to be looking for evidence on that first one in the alleyway. So, I think someone is trying to frame the Jewish community. That's what I'm getting at, I think. Or it is someone who's Jewish. I don't know. I don't quite remember. So in the next episode, we'll go back to Baker Street, if I remember what I'm supposed to do. And then I don't know what we're supposed to be doing next. I'm assuming it's going to go through a very long talking cutscene. That's why I'm stopping it now. So if you guys like this game and this video, give it a like, comment, and don't forget to subscribe. And I hope you all have a wonderful and beautiful rest of your day. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye!